Hello everyone, Ian Griffith here, and I am so glad to have you here. For the last 5 years, I have scoured the globe. I've gone all over the world. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars learning from the top influencers, the inspirers in this world. Roger Love, John Maxwell, Bo Eason, Brendon Burchard, Tony Robbins. These are just some of the names of the world's best speakers that I've learned from, that I've gone to their special top level events. And I've gathered all this information together so that I could deliver it for you. And this is just a little piece of it, but I wanted to give something back. And what I've done here is I've distilled some of this knowledge into 7 easy steps so that you can speak like a pro. No matter where you are, online, on Zoom, in front of 1,000 people, it's always good to speak like a pro. We're always doing public speaking. So, without further ado, let me get into the first step. And before I do, I know the green screen is behind me. This is because right now I'm recording for a little teaching piece that I'm going to do, and I'll put the background in later. So, the first step to speaking like a pro in live video is to get yourself in the right state before you start. This is so important. With the right state, we can create. They've shown that you're 33% smarter when you're happy, when you're full of joy. Every speaker I know has some sort of routine they do to get them in state. Some people jump on a rebounder up and down. Some people listen to their favorite music and dance. Some people think about the people they're going to serve. So this is how it would work. If you were going to pick the music, you get music that you love, you would play it so loud, you would dance with it, you'd have energy going everywhere. And then before you speak, you pull it in and you prepare, and before you walk into that conference room, before you walk in front of that camera, before you talk to people, you focus that energy like a laser. Another thing you can do, if you're outside of a meeting, you can go, yes, yes. Don't do it out loud. Maybe walk around the block, go into your car, do whatever you need to do, get your energy up. And then when your energy is up, you pull it back in, you hold it inside, and you get ready to deliver it. Finally, the other way you could do it is think of the people you're going to serve. When you are speaking, you are giving leadership service. This is not about you, it's about them. You're trying to get the thoughts, the ideas from your mind into their mind, the emotions that you're feeling from you to them. So instead of thinking about you, think about them and that information going into them and translating. That's true speaking. When we can have this energy, this feeling, this emotion, and we can deliver in such a way that they receive that, they feel that same emotion. They understand that thought. So we're serving, and when you start to think about serving other people, you stop worrying so much about yourself, and you can truly start to speak like a pro. So the second thing you can do is you can overcome your fear. We all have fear of speaking to a large group of people. It's one of the things that people are afraid of most, and this is why. You feel outnumbered. You feel like all these people could criticize you. Someone on the camera could criticize you. Someone in the audience can criticize you. There might be thousands of people watching. You don't know. And this is overwhelming. So there is a trick. There's something that all great speakers I know do. They focus on just one person at a time. Just one person. Think about them. If you're in front of a camera, think of someone you love, someone who's your ideal client, someone who's your dream person that you're talking to, and speak to them with that caring, with that kindness, with that connection. Don't just look at the camera. Imagine them a few feet back behind that camera so you can look with depth into the camera. If you're speaking in front of a large group, you can focus on just one person. Get a thought out. Don't just look at that person the whole time. That would be a little bit weird. But just focus on that one person for that paragraph and then move on to the next. This is something that you see speakers do all the time. I bet you thought they did it because they were just great at spreading their energy around the room, but really they were doing it because they were nervous about not being able to deal with all the people that were around them, right? So if you focus on just one person at a time, it's a one-to-one message. So in that, I just kind of stumble my words for a second, and there's this inner monologue. There's this voice that's in your head, and it says, oh, you just weren't perfect there. You hesitated, you stuttered. You hear this voice, and it tells you how you're not doing that great. And this voice can be very distracting. This is one of the things that all speakers have to deal with. It's like, I'm not good enough. They're not listening. He's not paying attention. Oh, it looks like that person's scared. There's all kinds of thoughts. Maybe I'm speaking too fast. Maybe I'm speaking too slow. There's all kinds of thoughts that go through your head. And what you have to do is you have to deal with the fact that everyone has that, and it's never going to go away. Every great speaker still has that inner monologue, that inner critic, that judger. But what you can do is you can say, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Yes, I hear you. But I'm not going to pay attention because this is too important. In fact, I am going to just ignore what you're saying and keep moving forward with my message. And I got to say, after years and years of doing this, hundreds and hundreds of times, that voice has very little power in my life anymore. See, I'm not seeking to be perfect. If I was perfect, I would alienate everyone I'm talking to because none of us is perfect. That's just the way it is. And if I was, how could we relate? I'm definitely not. I'm very far from perfect, and it's my imperfections that I connect with people on, things I can grow and learn and achieve with. So I've seen this be super valuable. I've seen it work many times. Once I got people to get over their inner monologue, they were able to just move forward. Because imagine trying to talk while you're also trying to listen. It's very hard to do. It's like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. So once you stop listening, you can really start to focus on the message you're going to deliver. So the next thing you can do is you can make sure that your audience pays attention to you in the first 7 seconds. This is so important. So if for me, it would be like, hey, I want to help you speak like a pro. I've gotten all this information. I want to give it to you for free. That's really cool. Or you could ask a question. Hey, does anyone feel like they keep trying to lose weight, but they just go around and around and it never happens? Me too. Right? This is called an engaging question when you raise your hand. But the idea is you want to capture their attention. You could say, hey, you know what? Kind of being like a coach is kind of like being a Sherpa. If you stay around, I'll tell you why. Or you get them to, you say, hey, wait till the end and I got something for you. It's going to be amazing. So that is so important. You've got to have that hook because this is such a very busy time. Everyone's scanning through everything. Everyone's going so fast. They are looking for something. You got 7 seconds to catch their attention before they move on to the next thing. And you want to interrupt them. You want to interrupt them. It's kind of like when you're in the grocery line and the Inquirer has a headline. You're like, wow, I got to find out what that is. And you pick it up. This is where we're at right now, is we have to kind of interrupt them and wake them up and get them involved with what we're saying. So very important. And then after that, you've got to deliver it with my next step, which should be everyone's step. You got to have a story. You got to have a story. And it doesn't have to be long, but a story connects you with everyone. You know why for the last 5 years I've been going around? It's because this was my dream when I was 17, 18, 19. I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be a teacher, a leader, that I wanted to impact the world because when I was younger, I had read books and they helped me so much. Books like Stephen R. Covey, books from Tony Robbins way back then. I would sit in Tower of Books and I would read them. And I really didn't have a lot of time to get that knowledge from my father. I never really got to know my father, right? And so this was a way that I was able to supplement that with knowledge. And with that knowledge, I was able to help myself so much, and I wanted to give back for everything that was given to me. But I got caught up. Being the first person to graduate in my family from college, and then I got working at all these corporations, and I said, I'll do that later when I'm richer, when I have money, when I'm older, when I'm wiser. And after a while, I just forgot. Until about 5 years ago, I went to this seminar by Tony Robbins, barely going. I was like, I don't think I need to go. I've read his books. And he said, what did you want to do when you were just 17? And I was like, oh, I forgot all these things I wanted to accomplish. I couldn't believe it. And I went home and I was pushing through everything, and I found these journals, and I was like, oh, there they are. These journals that said I wanted to speak, that I wanted to help people. And I highlighted everything that still mattered to me. And 90% of my dreams were highlighted. And at that time, I got down on one knee and I said, I will never again not go towards my dreams. And in that moment, something was created. Not only did I want to go towards my dreams, I wanted to help other people go towards their dreams. It doesn't matter to me the cost, the effort, what I have to learn, where I have to go, how much I have to do. This is my goal, to massively and positively impact this world and to not let these dreams that I had go away anymore. This is what I'm about. And that's a story. And it's part of who I am. Now you know who I am. You know why I'm doing this. You know how this came to be and why I won't compromise anything. It's so important for you to have your story, your personal story, but have a story about everything you're going to talk about, because it really lets people into who you are and what you're all about. So important. And finally, you got to remember, even though I've been speaking fast, you got to have the ability to slow down, to pause. The reason you got to pause is because you can't be afraid of that moment of silence and be all like, hey, I'm going to tell you, have you ever heard someone like that? What they're afraid of is a moment of silence. But silence gives you emphasis. Silence allows you to gather people's attention. There's a moment where you can talk really fast, and then a moment where you can say, this is the important thing to listen to. When you pause, you can breathe. That's a benefit. There's so many people, they're at an interview and they're like, hey, and I can do this and I do this, and they want to talk about so many things, and then they just run out of air and they don't want to. Yeah, it's a mess. You don't want to be like that. You want to talk poised, confidently, pause, think about what you're going to say, speak with certainty, and be okay with that moment of silence. It's definitely a pro tip. You should try it. It's excellent. And it's fun. How long can you truly pause? Right? There's power in pausing. And finally, one of the things that I love so much is knowing that authenticity is your superpower. And acting like everyone else is your kryptonite. Being afraid of being real is what makes all of us so weak. It makes all of us not try, not step up. You've got so many stories, so many parts of you, so many things that you could do right now, but then you don't want to present yourself as not perfect. But it is your non-perfection that people love. That's the thing that connects you to other people. That's the thing that all of us are. I'm speaking to you. There's things that I didn't do right. I just said the word I twice. I stuttered. I'm not perfect. Do you still accept me? Maybe. Maybe not. It's okay. Either way. The point is, it's not through our strengths and our perfection that we connect with people. It's through our vulnerabilities, through our weaknesses, our desire to tell who we really are. There was a lady who I was coaching, and she had one video, and it was perfect. It was edited. It was light. Everything was perfect about it. Cost a lot of money. And then she had another one. Same material, but she did it with an iPhone. It was dark. It was wavy. Guess which one got more views? That's right. The iPhone one went viral because people are done with perfection. It doesn't seem very real. They really like the real deal. That's why if you look at most testimonials, you'll see that they are just handheld. So if you make a mistake, if a kid runs in the background If you've got some dirty clothes you didn't notice in the video, don't throw that video away. That is gold. That will connect you with people, and you're gold. Who you are is what matters. And when you really understand that, that's your superpower. So thank you so much for listening. I can't wait to see you impact, influence, and inspire this world. You're going to make waves that rock this world to the end of time. And I'm going to be right there with you, helping you all along the way. Thank you, and have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.